what we're actually going to do now, and you know what? This is probably going to go really badly, very, very badly, but we're going to change this windscreen now. I managed to find, weirdly, a service sort of bulletin on it, on how to do it online, because with these DB11s, there was a bit of a fault in the installation of some of them, and water was sort of leaking through. And so as a part of that, they did a recall, and there's an online thing on the process on how to how to remove the windscreen and put it back in. So I have got the windscreen here with all the trims as well. So yeah, it's just going to be a case of getting it on the car, really. I say it's just a case. The advantage, as you can see, is not currently here at the moment, and that's because over Christmas the windscreen got damaged and is currently being replaced on insurance at Autoglass. Anyway, I've pointed this one out to the guy, and he took one look at it. Basically offered him some cash, said, you know, if you want, can pay you to come at the weekend and do this. He took one look inside. He was sort of looking, all right, looking at the A-pillar. No, mate, no, not a bloody chance. No, sorry, mate, no, way too complicated. So if it's too complicated for him, it's probably going to be way too complicated for me, but let's give it a go. Why not? But we need to basically get these A-pillars out, and this would baffle me for a while because, as you can see, there's no actual screws. So I've watched quite a few videos on other cars, and it's basically revealed that I think this airbag thing, where it says airbag light, should just be able to come out, and behind that are the screws. So there's one there, and then there's one back here as well, so we'll give that a go.
And with the first A-pillar out without a problem, on to the next one. With the A-pillars removed, I then had to remove the central trim. To do this, I had to remove the sun visors and then also a screw that was hidden away above the center console before disconnecting the electrical connectors to the windscreen.
Okay, we have no windscreen now, and I'm not going to show you how to do it because it will probably trigger a lot of people. It was definitely not by the book, and as Jeremy Clarkson would say, involved a lot of power.
As you can see here, I did try to do it the correct way, but when the wire broke several times, I gave up and went for broke.
Step one of replacing the windscreen is obviously remove the front windscreen. We have done that here. Then it says put the applicable protective covers on the interior trim adjacent to the windscreen. Now, obviously I don't have the covers that they have at the factory, so basically use some paper to cover the trim as best as I can. I'm purposely not sort of going over to this bit because I'm guessing the glass is going to sit there, so I don't want to accidentally wedge some tape and paper in there and not be able to remove it later. That would be a catastrophe. But as you can see, I've been pretty thorough. Basically got all the interior trim covered that's underneath the windscreen. If I just came around here now, you'll see got it all covered here as well, and I've even put bits on the seat in the front center console. Now, I'm not too sure why this is. I guess to avoid just scratching it in any way, or I don't even know if some of the seal, I don't know, when you're sort of adjusting, sort of getting the windscreen in position, whether the foam might just fall off or sort of drip down before it hardens. So I guess it's just better to be on the safe side, so I've wrapped it up quite thoroughly there. Now, step 3 is remove the sealant from the body. Well, I've already done that, but I think I might just go over it one more time again, just to make sure the surface is properly flush first. Obviously, if it's not flush when we lay it all down, we'll start getting water ingress and the like. So, I'm gonna give that a go now.
And once I was happy that the surface was flat, I gave the contact area a quick vacuum to ensure that the area was clean.
Next step. In step 4, install the windscreen finisher to the windscreen. And these are the sort of trims to go around. Now this looks longer. There's 2 sets. There's one that goes basically around 3 corners of the windscreen, here, here, here. And then there's one that goes along the bottom. Now I'm guessing, because this seems a lot bigger, this is the one that goes all the way around. So we'll start with that.
satisfied with the first trim, we applied the bottom part.
Okay, well the next task says to install the windscreen foam to the windscreen, but they've actually already done it with this windscreen, so thankfully we can skip past that. And then afterwards it says clean and polish the windscreen. You heard him.
And I listened, so I gave it a quick wipe down. However,
now it doesn't really say whether you're supposed to polish and clean both sides, but I don't really want to flip this any more than I have on my own. I feel like I'll potentially damage it or something like that, and it's too expensive risk. So I've cleaned the front side, and then once I've actually got the windscreen fit, I'm going to clean the rest of it as well. But yeah, I just don't really want to take that risk. It's a bit too much of an expensive mistake to make. Alrighty, with that said, we'll move on to the next step, which says install suction handles to the windscreen. Should be straightforward.
and it was. Moving on.
Alrighty, so time to just put these bump-ons onto the car whilst we're waiting. And as you can see, I've got a diagram here. I was sent this from Chris at Aston Martin bit, so thank you to Chris. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 along the bottom, and then 1 in each corner at the top. So I'll get those laid down now. Okay, so step 9, apply etch primer around the windscreen to body contact area. You must wait 10 minutes for the etch primer to dry before you can apply the sealant, and you must install the windscreen in less than 2 hours after you apply the etch primer. All right, let's do it. Okay, so step 10, assemble the sealant applicator. So time to get that ready.
And we were almost ready to fit the windscreen, and whilst this whole idea was totally mad, I drew the line at lifting the glass on my own. Thankfully, my good friend Callum was my knight in shining armour, but straight out the door, we had a problem.
First attempt has not gone well, as you can see. It's broken here, and then the handle itself, don't know how I can show you, is bent out of line. So when you're pushing it in, it just wasn't working, there wasn't enough coming out. Thankfully, Callum has a corker at home and he lives just around the corner, so he's just gone to go and get one.
Now equipped with a far more industrious corker, we got back to work laying the seat. And it's showtime. On with the screen.
Say cheerio!
And thank you again to Callum for his help. After he'd left, I worked on making minor adjustments to the windscreen positioning.
Okay, well before it's drying, I am just making small adjustments to this gap here, just getting the clearance to spec, which should be 0.5 mil. So I am just working on that, and on the other side as well, just before it properly dries, and then each time I'm just readjusting this tape. But yeah, it's getting there. I'll tell you what, I am just relieved above all that it is done now, because that was incredibly stressful in the run up to it, just trying to make sure I got everything right. Measurements, knowing that we basically had like a 10-minute window to work in. So, relieved above all, but I'm actually happy with how this has come out. I mean, I guess we'll see how well it stops water getting in, how well it's stuck on really once it's dried, but you know, I'm confident that it should be okay. We've gone over it, we've both checked, that we're happy that the sealant didn't have any gaps. Yeah, I'm hopeful it should be fine. But come on, if that is not worth a like and subscribe, then God, I don't know what is. There aren't many people, DIYs, doing their own windscreens out there, never mind on a car, having just started working on cars. So yeah, we'll check back tomorrow when it's dry. See you in a sec. Alrighty, well, new day here. You join me just as I've arrived. Got lift fans here, so I can't actually see the final product, but anyway, we're gonna do a live reaction, so let's go and have a look at the car. Okay, it's still on there, so that's a good start. It's looking pretty good. Let's have a look. Yeah, nice. Yeah, we've kept the gap perfectly there. And up there. Oh, spot on. I'm guessing we can't just pull it off. No, okay, that's good. It's definitely sealed down. Guys, I think we might have done all right. Wow. Down here. Yeah, also bang on again still. And then up here, this was actually the toughest one to line up. But that's also fine. All right, I think we nailed that. Yeah, so just a point on this, I'm actually going to water test it today because I want to know, obviously, if I were to leave this car outside for whatever reason, I'm just not going to come back and have damaged, spoiled leather. So I'm going to make a bit of a contraption for testing it, sort of to cover or protect all the inside. And then we're going to start pouring water sort of around the tops and then the sides and just see if any starts leaking in. But anyway, I've just arrived. I need a wee, but then we'll get to work.
Having removed the tape, I could get a better view, and it's fair to say I surprised myself with the result.
So what I've done is I've basically set up this sort of trap for the water. So if I pour water over here and it falls through, it will drop into this mattress bag, which is obviously waterproof, so the water will just sit in there until I remove it. Obviously I'm hoping no water will go through anyway, but it's better to be safe than sorry. But yeah, let's give it a test. Alrighty, got ourselves some water, it's just from the tap. So give it a go then. I can see it all running off to the engine bay. Again, still nothing. I think, yeah. Come on! Now look, I know full well that is not an exact science, but it's a good indication anyway. It's the best I can think of as sort of a little DIY test, but absolutely no water's gone through, so I'm pretty happy with that, and I guess we'll just have to see over time whether the seal will stay. I feel like we were pretty thorough with it. We did go over any sort of gaps we saw, so once we sort of patted it down and let it sort of spread out, I think yeah, we would have put a nice seal on that, so job done.
Happy that it was now watertight, at least for now, I started the reassembly job. First up, I had to bolt on the heat shield, followed by the trim, and then the wiper.
Before I start putting this in, I've fitted a new mirror now, which you can see here. Obviously this wire here is going to be covered by the trim once that's in, but I've connected, I don't even know what this does to be honest, but there's an electric connector, so it's some kind of electrical system. Might even be the radar, I don't know. But yeah, I've replaced that as well and clipped that in, so now we can start fitting the trim. Down, one to go. All right, and job done. So we've got a brand new windscreen. all the trims refit. Here's a little montage. New windscreen fitted, so very happy with that result. It looks terrific, to be honest. I've measured again, the gaps, they're spot on again, 5 mil at the top, 2 mil either side. Not bad for a first try, perfectly to spec. But anyway, it's time to wrap up this episode. Off to the body shop for this now. Obviously, whilst the car is in the body shop, we will be ordering all the new parts, all the sort of missing parts that we need. And I imagine this will be in the body shop for a couple of weeks. I still need to get some quotes, but yeah, the plan is get this out of the way. Hopefully pick it up in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll have the new parts there ready to fit them, MOT, road trip. But anyway, we're that much closer now to that MOT. So for now, I'm off to the body shop to go get some quotes. And yeah, thank you for watching. Surely that's worth a like and subscribe, so hit that red button down below. Thank you so much. Take care. Love and champagne.